Welcome everyone. Um, Today is February 9th, Friday, and yesterday was February 8th, Thursday. Um, a milestone in the history of Cerritos when Council probably made a history by waiving a policy uh, to advance their personal agenda, uh, to rename a city facility after retired city manager Mr. Art Gallucci. So what does it mean, right? There is different, ways you can look at it, right? Let us look at it like a, half full. Glass is half full, right? Optimistic way, or victory, right? Yes, it was a victory for the residents who spoke, showed up, and persistently, right, emailed the council and spoke on September 28th, December 14th, and February 8th. So as you can see, it has been going on, and a lot of discussion on social media, debate, and some online petition, online survey. So obviously this was overwhelmingly, kind of a emotional, item, and there was not many in support of this renaming Cerritos Park East, or CPA, as we all know that, right? So, yeah, if our goal was to stop CPE from renaming it, yes, it was a definite victory, right? And thank you for, all the people, and, yeah, it showed that, if people come together and speak up, things will happen. They will experience some victories like this. So that is definitely a very good, takeaway. So I hope that, residents will continue their participation, involvement in what's going on around them and what council is doing, and then keep them, accountable, hold them accountable. So that is definitely a cause for celebration. But now, let us look at the other side. So essentially, what happened here is that they waived a policy 7.06, which I am looking at, right? This is part of the agenda item. You can see that the policy which talks about renaming a city-owned facility, which was signed by Mayor Changwo on May 26th, 2022, and then City Manager Art Gallucci on July 5th, 2022. So, and this policy, let us take a moment to go through that, right? If you look at it, you can see some of the key points there. It says, clause C, it says, as a measure to ensure credibility and merit when honoring an individual, only names of deceased persons shall be considered. So in this case, they didn't want to ensure credibility and merit, apparently. That's why they decided to waive the policy. And you have to also keep in mind, first they tried to change the policy. So let us take a step back, right? On September 14th, the three amigos, right? Barros, Solangi, and Wo. We call them Gang of Three because they have been using the 3 votes to advance many of their personal agendas, including the most notorious one is the recent extension of the term by 11 months. So otherwise, would have elections this April, 2 months from now. And thanks to their greed and their personal agenda, they managed to extend it by 11 months. So by that, Solanki will be completing 10 years in his 2 terms, which is unheard of, right? Usually you'll get eight years. Now he got 2 5-year term. That means he can get 50% of the benefit, because as per the current rule, which again they can waive, they can change it, but the way it is written, a council member needs at least 10 years to get the 50% benefit, pension and health benefits and things like that. And also after 10 years, they get 5% for every additional year. So barrows will get probably 20 years, full benefit, 100% benefit. So yeah, they are taking care of what they should, right? Make sure that they get whatever they can. And of course, under the name of service, right? Because Solanki said he's a millionaire, he doesn't need these things. But then it beats me, then why is he doing such things, right? And then also, so they did that. So they tried to get consensus to name CPE after art on 14th, and the 28th they brought back, city staff spent time to brought back a report, and they hope that they can, with the 3 votes, they can change the name on 28th. But it didn't happen. Why? Because there were a lot of opposition, social media, and people spoke, and they got scared. So now our council member Wo, he's a master of what you call he knows how to have the cake and eat it too. So he wanted to appease his fan base and also be known as kind of a rule following, obeying citizen, right? So he said that no, okay, let us not break the policy, let us change the policy. Why not? Then we can change the policy so that we will remove the restriction, and then we can rename following the new policy. That's what he thought. And then what happened? December 14th, yes, in fact there was a committee formed, and Mayor Barrows and Changwo were those committee members, and they came up with a report to change the policy, to remove the restriction of this, only deceased persons can be, name can be used, so that they can remove that, so that they can rename CP after Art Gallucci, right? That's what they thought. That was the plan, at least. But again, lot of opposition, lot of email, lot of noise on social media, emails, and people spoke. Then they got again scared, right? So Changwo flipped. So he voted with Linda and Frank to reject his own proposal to change the policy, right? This is how hypocritical these people are. But had a plan. They had a plan. Young of Three had a plan. This is all about changing their strategy as they see more and more opposition from the public, because they're afraid of making the public unhappy, because this is a very emotional, sensitive topic, and definitely Changwo wants to run again. Solanki, I'm not sure. Barrows probably not, right? So they don't want to weaken their chances of the next council run, right? So they're smart. So what they did, that was voted down. Change of policy, forget it. So case closed, right? That's what we thought. We all thought. Not for Solanki. So towards the end of the meeting, you can watch it on December 14th, Solanki just says that, hey, I want to bring back. Forget about all this. I want to rename CP. That's it. After my fatherly figure, Art Gallucci. That's it. Okay. Now we were on February 8th. So change of policy failed. And now comes waiver of the policy. And what is the policy? As I said, right? It says that person has to be deceased. And then here are the other clauses. Again, they waived or ignored all of them. Any person may initiate renaming by submitting to the city council a request. Of course, in this case, Solanki doesn't have to submit a request because he is the part of council member apparently. And setting forth the proposed name of the facility and the statement evidencing, why, justification. And I think the justification again is not needed for council member, especially Solanki, because for him art is like father figure. So what more justification you want? I want to rename CP after my father. That's the best justification for a council member, right? That's what he told. And then also it says a request should be submitted to city manager's office and subsequently presented to the city council, which is again probably not needed. And it should be referred to either the Parks and Recreation Commission or Fine Arts and Historical Commission. We have all this commission for a reason. They're called advisory board. And these commissioners are appointed by council members. And again, they decided not to involve these commissions for this case. Again, the policy says, right? I am not saying it's not in the policy. Then, yes, this commission will consider, they will organize a public hearing. Nothing, no commission, no public hearing, right? And then they will be forwarding the recommendation to council. No recommendation, no commission. And then the commission can also look at other alternatives, such as dedicating a tree, bench, water fountain, or plaque, right, in honor of this individual. It doesn't have to be always changing name of a facility. Again, none of these things are even looked at by the commission because it never went to a commission. So as you can see here, right, all this policy very clearly says all these things, and this is just one example, right? And why such a policy is written? Because to avoid the kind of conflicts we are experiencing. And what a waste of time of city staff, residents, council meeting. Council meeting could be used to look at so many other more critical issues residents are facing, not on this kind of a personal agenda. And now, if you look at it, right, and they try to change the policy, it didn't work. Now they are saying, you know what, we have power, we have 3 votes, let us waive it for one time. Because now it's very important. In the 65 years, I don't know how, more than 65 years, 60 plus years, right, of Cerritos, how many times did council waive a policy in the past? I'm not sure. Please let me know if you can think of a past incident. But anyway, this sets a bad precedence, right? Now, now council, all we need is 3 votes so that they can waive any policy anytime for whatever reason. So this is a think about it, right? That's why this is very important. This is really critical, and I hope everybody is aware of what they have done yesterday. And now look at other things, right? For example, of course, Changmo and Solanki were very emotional. They said why they think that this is worth an exception because art is an exception. Art is this and that. We are not disagreeing. Art is a gentleman. He has given a lot for City of Cerritos. He worked for City of Cerritos for over 50 years and 30 plus years as a manager. And yeah, I mean, I'm not denying anything. And yeah, he has done a lot of great stuff. But the question is it worth waiving a policy? And again, this policy was reviewed and readopted, by the council, and as I said, right, in 2022. And then another thing I heard was that, it turned out to be very personal. So this is Solanki said, right, art is like a father for him. He used to tell him, he used to be his mentor and all those things. See, the problem is that it is okay to have a respectful relationship between city manager and council, but when it crosses the line, it becomes personal and it can be their own undoing. because it can prevent the council members from doing the right thing for the residents, because the priority can change. In other words, it can lead to conflict of interest. That's why all this happened. All these things could have been, it was unnecessary. It cost us so much. Right, for what? So that is, and also another one was that, right, as I mentioned also to the council in my email, we have been conducting surveys for a lot of things. Broadband study, LED lights, transportation survey, and most recently again two surveys, for one for selecting names of 3 women for study rooms at library, one survey, and another survey to see which 3 men's names need to be kept. 2 surveys just for naming study rooms at the library. But this council still didn't feel that they need to do a survey. It is worth doing a survey to get the resident feedback, because they know the result going to be overwhelmingly against renaming CPE. That's why they didn't want to do that. So again, this council is, playing a game. They will do survey when it is convenient for them, when it can be used to prove their point or advance their personal agenda, right? And they won't do that when there is something this emotional and important for residents. So, which is again, interesting or unfortunate, right? So anyway, it was a good, overall I think it was a good experience for all. One thing is that, residents, it helped to bring residents together and at least, get them involved, even though most of them will be like, go back to their own, state of hibernation or shell, and leave such things to handful of us who have been doing this rain or shine, and we will continue doing these things. But we will appreciate if more residents can join and participate on numerous other things. For example, right now there are a lot of other things going on, right? Transportation study, take off cow, or dial a ride, or bring in mass transit, or what you call micro transit and things like that. And there are a lot of things going on: budget planning, strategy session, and so many other items. So I hope that you will all continue to participate and pay attention to what is going on. And as you can see, if we work together and if we speak up, give council and city the feedback, especially if it is significant number like this one, it doesn't have to be thousands, even 10, 20 can change. Otherwise, what happens is that it will be only handful of us, right? Always beating the dead horse. Then what happens is that everybody will start portraying us as the problem. There's only handful of whiners, complainers, unhappy residents, and according to them, everybody else is happy. They're endorsing what they're doing, but that's not the case. You know that, right? They are indifferent. They don't care. They just mind their own business. So again, right, it's important to get involved, stay informed, stay engaged, pay attention, speak up, email, call your council member, let them know what you think, and when you disagree with them, let them know. And when they do something good, let them know too, give them credit. So again, at the end of the day, they spared CPE, and then they decided to at least rename a hallway at CCPA after Art Gallucci, which is again waiving the policy or ignoring the policy. It's not waiving, it is actually ignoring the policy, or which is unfortunate, but it's a good lesson, civic lesson, and also how local governments work. So hopefully, uh, you will all continue to stay involved. And thank you for this.